Wow. Oh my god, guys, it's official. This time, a decade from now, all pro gamers going to be 6.
I don't know, 6 is pretty young.
So they start training at 3.
Okay, fair enough.
They get on Pac-Man at 1.5. Here's an Etch-a-Sketch.
I first used a computer.
Okay.
When I was 15 months old. And do you know what I used to do on the computer? My dad download... What?
Pee on it.
Nope.
No.
My dad downloaded a jigsaw where you could set the number of pieces you wanted, and you just had to use a mouse to click and drop them. And at 15 months old, I could do the 4-piece jigsaw. Oh yeah!
I bet at 15 months old, that was like the most advanced game ever.
It probably was.
It probably was, actually. Was this before or after? Have you ever played a game on DOS?
Not...
Ever.
Actually, yes, I have.
Yes, okay.
I have played the original Prince of Persia.
That makes you old. If you've played a game on DOS, that makes you old. And I'm watching like Twitch chat right now going, DOS? What is that? Is that like an early... Is that like before Windows... Was that Windows 92?
Prince of Persia. Also, did you ever play the game called Elite?
No. I did play Stormlord, though, which I think was one of the precursors to Elite.
Elite is amazing. Probably one of the best games ever. Kind of, a lot of that
carried over DOS games.
Pardon?
We should stream DOS games.
I think XSplit might throw a fit. Like, even with an emulator, I think XSplit would just be like, no. Anyway, going on at the moment, both players getting down cybernetic scores. We do see ELFI going up to 6 probes in gas compared to the 4 of NightEnD, so that's a big deal. That is.
And there's a significantly faster cybernetic score. I say significantly, it's about 5 or 6 seconds, but in a PvP, when everything gets timed down to the second here, ELFI is going to be finishing his tech a little bit sooner as well, so that's worth noting in this game. And we'll see what that gas ends up being used for. NightEnD does have a probe inside. Does see everything that's going on right now, so it's not like this is a mystery to him.
What he needs to look out for, though, is what kind of tech is coming down. That's the important thing, because ELFI has clearly got these additional 2 probes in gas and is going to be getting something. What NightEnD needs to know is what is that something, so he can ideally get up a good build order to counter it. That's why this probe staying in the base is really important, but the mothership core is going to force it back. Sneaky times could still come down.
Alright, mothership core in a good position now for ELFI, of course, able to get that out first. And in the meantime, at NightEnd's end of the map, we notice no mothership core is forthcoming for him. He's going to be going straight up to that Twilight Council.
Now, this could be for DTs, it could be for Blink, both fireball, and oh, NightEnd setting a probe down to the bottom right, sneaking it out. Pylon probably coming down here.
Now, the location of the pylon could end up being important here. If he puts the location of the pylon by the cliff so you can warp in on the low ground, it could be for Blink. If he put it in the very back of the base, he could have been hiding the Dark Shrine there as well. He's not going to be hiding the Dark Shrine in the bottom right because the probe is now moving away. And because the probe is now moving away, I think it's more likely we're going to see Blink.
Yep, there we go.
Please let me be right for once. Yeah, okay. If the probe stayed there, or if that pylon went down... High five! I felt that through the internet. If the pylon went behind the mineral lines there at the bottom right-hand corner, then I would have said he's trying to proxy the Dark Shrine. But it looks like we're going for Blink-based play here. Now, with the mothership core as well, which, bear in mind, NightEnD does not currently have, or just some high ground vision, it can be very annoying on Neoplanet S, because moving from inside of your main base to the choke at your natural, just going around the cliff area, can be a little bit frustrating.
Now, ELFI, big risk here getting that expansion down. If he's able to hold it, he's going to be in an amazing spot. And bear in mind that he does have his mothership core with enough energy for a photon overcharge, and NightEnD is taking his expansion now, so NightEnD is not going all in off of one base. And that's been seen by ELFI. Really important scout there. ELFI did as well see the Twilight Council.
And can I just say as well, by the way, just as a completely off-topic thing just for a second, hello, Twitch chat. People are talking about Alley Cat, Tetris, and Pac-Man. How awesome are these guys? We start talking about DOS games, and now everyone's talking about games that simply were not in existence this millennium. Highly approve of these guys today. Looks like early morning gamers do exist.
Okay, question for you though, JoRoSaR, right?
Alright,
what was your favourite SNES game? I still own a SNES, by the way. I own a SNES, an N64, a GameCube, an Xbox, and an Xbox 360.
Favorite SNES game, even though in my opinion it's only the second best version of the game, still has to be Mario Kart.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I think Mario Kart 64 was better. I still think that was the best Mario Kart ever. But the SNES one takes a close second place.
I don't know, Super Street Fighter. That's where it was at. Anyway, we do see here the NightEnD is pushing forward now. Blink done. The first Immortal, second Immortal is now out on the field, and 2 Immortals makes it a lot easier to defend against Blink play, because you might be able to blink these Stalkers up, but the Immortals will kill them insanely fast.
Yep, and that's why what you want to do, ideally, is to maybe get a force field on the ramp as well, so that if the Immortals are stuck down there, you can blink your Stalkers up into the main base. A play we often see on Neo Planet S as well. Let's see if NightEnD ends up bringing in a Stalker, a Sentry or 2 rather, with this attack, because if he goes forward, puts down a force field on the ramp, he can decide where to blink his Stalkers, and that's why, guys, you can see ELFI keeping his Immortals on the ramp right now, because he knows that kind of play is possible, and doesn't want all of them to be zoned out.
That's the important thing for him, is to try and make sure that he can't get zoned out. But for the moment, there isn't any sentries down for NightEnD. He's just sitting there with these Stalkers only. But the Robotics Bay has now been scouted. This alerts NightEnD to the fact that ELFI going up towards Colossi.
He's going to continuously pump out those Immortals now. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do that in time, really, to engage this army here, because already 3 Immortals out for ELFI. So he still also doesn't have any high ground vision, so these Stalkers don't really have the option of going up onto the high ground. The Mothership Core is all the way back at the main for NightEnD right now, and it feels like he has all the ingredients to make a little bit of a successful prod here, but just his units aren't all in the right places.
Well, this is where things could start getting very, very tense, because the first Colossus being out is going to help. And, ooh, look at this. NightEnD with a couple of units just to the top here. Is he going to try and take a sneaky third?
He could. I mean, that could just end up being possible here. We would ideally like to see a probe coming out from around about now if he is going to try and take that. Another hallucinated Phoenix just to scatter out the army composition here. Does spot that the first Colossus is there. There is no way these Stalkers can even remotely hope to take that on now. But the hallucinated Phoenix is going to allow to blink it, and there we go. He waited for the army to come back, and he might even be able to get the Colossus at this rate. Mothership Core gets sniped off. That was the opening that NightEnD wanted, and that's what he was waiting for. Although the Warp and Zealots at the top did stop him from doing further damage. If he picked off a Colossus as well, that would have been huge.
Yeah, he got a Mothership Core, so that was quite a good win, but still, resources lost. ELFI only losing 300, 200 minerals, 100 gas, so nothing too bad, but NightEnD has lost nothing as of yet. But I think that could be about to change as this very scary looking army, 2 Colossi, those 3 Immortals and a good gateway support starts wandering its way across the map.
And there is the Observer. So immediately going to spot what's going on there. Able to pick apart this pylon. Will he need to blink away? No, he's just going to try and do a little bit of harassment damage. Totally fine there. And both sides now resetting. The army supply currently 57 to 77 in favor of ELFI, guys. It has to be said here. So will he be able to hold on with the Photon Overcharge as well? Defender's advantage coming in for ELFI. 43 to 38 as far as the works goes. And ELFI is going to go for it. NightEnD trying to defend. Decent positioning there. Good time war coming down. But where will the Colossi hit? The hallucinated Colossus is getting hit by NightEnD right now, and ELFI handled that engagement surprisingly well.
ELFI, though, losing just under 3 times more stuff, though, than NightEnD at the moment, and that is the big number, because you cannot be down in probes, which ELFI is, and down in terms of the resources lost and how efficiently you're trading. You will just run out of stuff before your opponent does. So NightEnD, I'd say, is in a good spot, but ELFI still trying to put on the pain.
That's right. He did a pretty good job in the preliminary stages there. Don't forget, he was in a choke and he was in a time warp, and it looked like, ooh, NightEnD could come in and try and clean up here. But generally speaking, he just did a great job. Another 2 hallucinated Colossi. A little bit obvious there, to be honest, at the very front of the army. Let's see if those end up getting targeted down. Some nice Stalker positioning on the high ground there for NightEnD. But, ooh, actually getting them to walk all the way back around the cliff. I'm not sure that was necessary. Now ELFI is pushing in a little bit. Who is going to crumble first? The Immortals staying very, very strong at the front of the army for NightEnD, though. Hallucinated Colossi still alive. And, well, NightEnD doing a good job not targeting them. He's now starting to fall back a little bit. Where is the Gateway army to try and bolster this?
It's just non-existent, and ELFI now taking a massive lead in terms of the army supply. Still pushing forward, still trying to deal a little bit more damage. He's killed a good number of units already. Needs to get a couple of probes, though, to make this worthwhile. Trying to pick off all the zealots. The Colossi getting chased down, and this could be it for NightEnD. He loses it. GG is called, and ELFI takes the series 2-1. And that means, I think, that ELFI is in a strong standing to finish top of this group.